Setting up an audio visual system for presentations. Objective of the training. This tutorial will demonstrate how to prepare an audio visual setup for a class or training program. As a reminder, not all setup steps described here may apply, as different approaches will require basic beforehand knowledge of the equipment being set up. With this in mind, the general practice for setting up still remains the same. Steps to follow. Setting up the devices. First, begin by carefully removing the devices, that is, your laptop and projector, from their cases and placing them on a sturdy level surface such as a table. Keep in mind where you'll be projecting the image. It is best to have a projector screen set up, but you could use a blank wall. This is important as different lighting conditions affect the image, viewing, and display. Setting up video. To set up video, be mindful that some projectors have a few display port options, such as HDMI, DisplayPort, DVI, and VGA. VGA is the most well-known display port and can be seen on many old and new projectors. HDMI can be seen on the latest laptops and projectors. Ends of a VGA cable are D-shaped and keyed so that it can only be plugged in one way. One end will be plugged into your projector video input and the other end will be plugged into your laptop VGA video output. If one of the other display ports are available, it can be used instead as needed. It should be noted that VGA is the lowest quality output, while DisplayPort and HDMI present at a higher quality. Setting up audio. If there is a need to add audio to your presentation, try to use appropriate speakers. Ensure the speakers are loud enough to cover the size of the room. A 25-watt speaker setup provides enough audio to cover a conference room. A 50-watt speaker setup provides enough power to cover a classroom. If presenting in a hall, there may be need for more powerful speakers, such as those used for outdoors. There are steps to set up audio for your presentation. Step 1. Connect a 3.5mm audio jack cord into the audio in of your selected audio system. Step 2. Plug the other end of the cord into the headphones port of the laptop or computer. Some audio systems may have the 3.5mm audio cord already connected and integrated to the speakers themselves, relying only to connect the 3.5mm audio cord to the computing device. Power. To power your projector and other devices, you should have a power cord. Plug the end of the power cord into the projector and the other end into a power outlet. You should connect your laptop's AC power cord to a power outlet to ensure that your laptop's batteries won't die on you while giving your presentation. You can plug any other needed device at this point, such as your speakers. Powering up the projector. Once everything is hooked up properly, turn on all connected devices. It does not matter the order in which your devices are powered on. The power button on most projectors can be found on the top of a projector. Some projectors may have a black main power switch on the back that needs to be switched on before the main power. Once powered on, the projector power LED indicator will begin flashing, blinking, or changing color, usually from red or orange to green. Sometimes a blank or blue screen will be projected. The image will be faint at first but within a few minutes, the image should be more visible on the screen. Selecting the input. Next, make sure that the projector is set for the appropriate input. There are usually a number of inputs that a projector can have, and we need to choose the one that is currently connected. When the input button on the projector was pressed, it displayed which input port is currently selected. When pressed repeatedly on many projectors, there are only 3 to 4 inputs. Also know that projectors have a source button instead of an input button. These two terms are synonymous when it comes to projectors. Selecting the display. The next step is to enable the laptop to display the video to the projector in one of many available options. The procedure for this step varies from laptop to laptop. It often involves pressing the function keys or Windows key and another key on the keyboard. Different model laptops use different keys for this option, so careful observation is required to identify the correct function key. Look at the function row for a symbol that looks like a monitor on the laptop. Pressing the function keys will change the video output to one or more options. Pressing the key repeatedly will cycle through several output modes, such as showing the laptop screen only, showing the projector screen only, showing both the projector and laptop screen at the same time, also called screen duplication, and extended. On Windows 10 machines, the Windows key and the P key must be pressed simultaneously to enter the presentation display mode, or the Windows key and the X key if you are using Windows 7 machines. Adjusting the projector's image. Ensure the position your projector is pointed is at the appropriate distance from the screen. This will depend on the projector being used and the size of the screen. Generally, positioning the projector approximately 10 to 15 feet from the screen will be used as a start, with adjustments closer to or further away from the screen as needed. The zoom on projectors can also be adjusted to fine-tune image or display. The zoom is usually controlled by a rotating ring near the lens or via the pop-up menu. Most projectors have expandable feet that can raise the angle of the projector and elevate the projection higher onto the screen. There are buttons on the side of the projector that release these legs. Using external media. To access media stored on external storage, such as flash drives or external hard drives, use the following steps. Step 1. Insert the flash drive into a USB port on your computer. You should find a USB port on the front, back, or side of your computer. Step 2. Depending on how your computer is set up, a dialog box may appear. If it does, select Open Folder to view files. Step 3. If a dialog box does not appear, open Windows Explorer and locate and select the flash drive on the left side of the window. Note that the name of the flash drive may vary. To safely remove a flash drive. When you're done using a flash drive, don't remove it from the USB port just yet. You'll need to make sure to disconnect it properly to avoid damaging files on the drive. Step 1. Go to the notification area in the taskbar, which is in the lower right corner of the screen. Click on the little arrow to show hidden icon. Hover your mouse over these icons and you will find one that says Safely Remove Hardware and Eject Media. Clicking on this icon allows you to safely select and remove the flash drive by left clicking. The alternative option is to right click the flash drive, then select Eject or Disconnect. Step 2. You can now safely remove the flash drive from the USB port. Pointing devices. In some cases, you may wish to use a pointing device. Pointing devices use batteries. Make sure your pointing device has a fresh pair of batteries. You should be able to tell the amount of life the batteries have by an indicator on the pointing device. Pointing devices use a USB dongle which is plugged into the laptop. Once finished with the presentation and ready to store away equipment, begin by turning the projector off. Most projectors will require you to press the power button twice in order to turn it off. When powering off a projector, keep the power cord plugged in until all the fans have stopped. It will run the fans during the powering down in order to cool the internal components of the projector. This could take a minute or more depending on what the internal temperature of the projector is at the time. After powering it off, once the fan has stopped and the light has stopped flashing or has turned red, unplug all the cables and place the equipment back into its bag or carrying case.